Hi everyone, are you ready for a dose? Today I thought we would start with a hydration smoothie. A lot of you see me carrying them to class, and you've heard me talk about this book, Quench. Quench is a wonderful inspirational book about why we need hydration. I want you to know that there's great recipes in this book, great information in this book. The smoothie I'm going to be making today is one of my personal favorites, and it is sort of tweaked combination of recipes from this book as well as recipes from this book, The Clever Gut Diet. Now, I like these two in tandem because one's talking about hydration, one's talking about the value of hydration as well, but also the value of keeping your gut healthy. And why is that important now more than ever? Because we all need to be thinking about boosting our immune system, and that begins in your gut. So, today we'll be making a hydration smoothie, and I want you to know a couple things first about why a hydration smoothie versus just drinking water. Your weight, you probably heard you should be drinking half your body weight in water. Yes, that's valuable, and it's also very valuable to get your hydration from foods, especially plant-based foods. And this is because they slow down that absorption. The fiber in them helps you get a slow release of the fluids you're taking in from the plants you're eating. So before I get down to the how to make this smoothie, guess what I'm gonna do? Wash my hands. Stay with me. Okay, I counted to 20. You know, washing my hands is one of my favorite things to do anyway. It feels good. I don't like when there's weird textures on my hands, so it's refreshing. So I'm only saying that because I want you to know it's really important right now in terms of boosting our immunity and our well-being to do things that give us pleasure. That boosts our feeling of well-being, of feeling good. So washing my hands has always been a simple pleasure for me. So I just want to encourage you to relish in that tiny pleasure and, really do it up. Maybe use the 20 seconds to think about the people that loved you into being, inspired by the Mr. Rogers film, A Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood, right? Think of the things that you're grateful for, all the things that are still working in your life, and kind of like you're washing off the bad feelings, the bad toxins, any negative energy you've been absorbing from the media, okay? So let's get down to our hydration smoothie. So again, this is plant-based. Plants are full of water. So I'm using an organic blend of, I think it's spinach, kale, and chard. I got this from a mix, and it is organic. Like I say, there's even little bits of carrot in this one. Why organic? The reason, this isn't 100% organic, but I would say 75 to 80% of this smoothie is organic, especially the plant-based stuff. And the reason that's valuable is that when we're not eating organic, we are ingesting pesticides, and then our body is using its precious hydration it already has to flush out those toxins of the pesticides. So that's why organic is really valuable, especially in something that I'm doing to try to increase my hydration internally. So let me get my cup. Now, I'm gonna be using an immersion blender that I just stick right into this cup. And you can, of course, use any blender. You could use a food processor, whatever you're used to using. Just keep it simple for yourself. This is what's simple for me. So I get my greens in there first. I usually leave a little bit loose to add at the top because I have some loose things in there. I have 2 tablespoons of organic frozen blueberries. I have 2 tablespoons of ground chia. That is organic. Chia also helps us to absorb the fluids that we're taking in. I also have here about 1/4 of a fresh avocado, and that's wonderful because it's satiating, but it is also gives a creaminess to my smoothie, which I really enjoy. Now here's a surprising ingredient, sea salt. This happens to be pink Himalayan. I'm only using a pinch. This is one of those measures that says pinch. Why is that valuable? I'm gonna let you read the book. There's lots of details on why you need sea salt or another natural salt, not table salt. But the short of it is that it has electrolytes and minerals, trace minerals that we need that help us absorb the hydration we're taking in. I'm also going to be adding, this is probably maybe 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of canned coconut milk, the full fat stuff. It gets solid when it's cold, so don't worry about that. It'll blend up in my smoothie. Now, here's one of my favorite ingredients, fresh ginger. Now, this one is organic, and I'm going to use this because I'm going to be doing a little knife work. I want to give you a little demo on that. I want you to shrug your shoulder for a minute. You can feel you use the muscles on the top of your shoulder to do that. A lot of time when I'm cooking with family or friends, I notice when they cut, they shrug up and their shoulder kind of turns in and forward, and then they want to get it done, and it's a task that's important to them, but it's not an efficient way of moving. So if I take my opposite hand, put it in my underarm, do this with me, and then shrug up that shoulder. And then I want you to, keeping your other hand under the back of your underarm, de-shrug, right? Pull your shoulder away from your ear and notice that the muscle you're using to do this is in your back body, all right? So I don't want to be shrugged up and pulling forward. I want to de-shrug and let my shoulder open up and back, all right? Now, secondary to that, but no less important, is the relationship of your hand to your shoulder. Embryologically, your hand grew out of your shoulder blade. And when I hold my knife, I want to have my grasping action be with this lateral part of my hand, my 4th and 5th finger. I'm grasping there. Embryologically, that part of our hand ties into our back body at the base of that shoulder blade. So that gives me power and some control. And then, so I'm grasping the handle of the knife with that lateral part of my hand. Now my first 3 fingers tie into the front of my chest and shoulder, and they are better for maneuvering and fine motor skills, essentially. So watch here for a second. And actually, before I get busy, I want to make sure that I have a good connection to the ground, right? So my feet are right under my hips, my shoulders and rib cage are over my hips, and my head is balanced above all of that. So I don't want to let my pelvis sink forward, my belly on the counter. Can you see how that threw my head towards you? And my shoulders as well. So inefficient movement. One is preparing for independence. The other is preparing for assisted living. Who needs that, right? We want to stay healthy and optimal in our functioning. So feet under hips, body over hips, head over all of it. And I'm going to relax because I'm making food for myself to nourish myself. So I want to enjoy the process and not have this be one more dang thing to do. So I'm going to hold my hand over the top of the knife. Remember, I'm grasping the handle with the lateral part of my hand, shoulder relax, and I am able then to do my knife work. I'm also careful to look down with my eyeballs more than hanging my head over my work, okay? So I've got that bit chopped up. Got a little bit more ginger to chop here. And you don't have to chop it up super fine. It's just getting it into more smaller pieces so that my immersion blender can do the rest of the work. All right, so we've got the greens, the chia, the coconut milk, the avocado, the blueberries, the ginger, the salt. 2 more things, lime juice. I usually use 1/4 to 1/2. It's kind of more to taste. There's that. I'm gonna add the rest of my greens. That just kind of helps cover the wet stuff. And cinnamon, this is just for flavor and fun. Cinnamon also has some vital benefits. You can look those up. Sometimes I use ground cardamom, it's another nice flavor. So I would say 1/4 to 1/2 teaspoon, maybe less, just again, to your taste. Alrighty, so I have my wonderful things. Now the last thing I want to add is a little more hydration, so I have filtered water here in my jug, and I'm going to add about 1 cup. Alright, there we go. So, time to blend my hydration smoothie. I like to get it all the way down there. Gets all the greens all blended wonderfully. Sometimes I just get my spoon down there at the bottom, make sure nothing's stuck. And sometimes, since I'm gonna, often take this with me, this is a travel cup, I add just a little bit more water because when it gets cold, if it's sitting in my car, it gets really thick and then it's hard to drink. So I just want to make sure it's, that I can get it through, get it into my body easily. Take that off. I'm going to taste it now and see if it needs anything at all. And I want to let you know another valuable thing when you begin to drink your smoothie is on your first sip, chew it a little bit, chew it. It helps the digestion process, starts at your teeth. It's very good. So, hydration smoothie. Beat fatigue, boost your immunity. Enjoy, and I'll see you at the next dose.